From the bustling bayou city of Houston to the rolling greens of Tulsa, two powerhouse teams are primed for a virtual golf battle like no other. Fueled by GOLFZON, the Daly Round Houston squares off against Birdie Bay Golf Tulsa on the famed fairways of the Kiawah Island Ocean Course. Who will tame the treacherous ocean course and seize ultimate glory? The stage is set. The showdown starts now in the GOLFZON World Championship.
All right, let's take a quick look at how this bracket is shaping up this year in the GOLFZON Tour. Welcome into this epic match on the GOLFZON Tour, and today we are playing at none other than the Ocean Course at Kiawah Island, perhaps one of Pete Dye's most diabolical designs. This golf course is strung along nearly 3 miles of the ocean coast, and GOLFZON has every inch of this American icon is simulated to a T. My name is Emma Carpenter. I am joined by my co-host Landon Ashworth. Landon, how are you feeling about this duel that we have today between Tulsa and Houston?
Gotta be honest, Emma Carpenter, I'm scared. I'm freaked out, man. I have no idea what to expect. Man. I'm worried about Houston. I gotta tell you, I shouldn't be worried, but I'm the worrying type, and it's not going to be pretty today, Emma Carpenter. It is going to be a bloodbath. A bloodbath, I tell you. I think they're going to go 9 up after 9. God bless you. Tulsa.
Let's take a look over at Birdie Bay in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The first player on Team Birdie Bay is Tony Moss.
Tony Moss, old Moss back. They used to call him in grade school. People were really mean to him, stupid jerks. Fun fact about him, he is a amateur nitrous and loves Renaissance festivals.
The Daly Round in Houston, first up. We have Justin Engel. Now, this team was the team that upset Monterrey, Mexico just last week. Justin Engel, a few weeks ago, he has a low round of 61. His favorite golf memory is playing with his dad. How nice is that, Landon?
I couldn't tell you. I've never met my dad. Thanks for bringing it up. Got a little behind the back shirt action. This is Alan Little. Don't call him Little or he will shank you like a prison guard. A fun fact about him, his lowest tournament round was a 68. How about that, Emma Carpenter? Not a shabby round of golf. He nearly lost his balance. He could be taking some NyQuil.
And back over at the Daly Round in Houston, this is Ben Willman. He's played at Pebble Beach. He has played in the Open, played a number of events as a professional. He says he loves a cold beer at the turn. Hopefully they can get him one of those today at the Daly Round.
I hope not. I want these people sober for me. This is Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 2 city in the world. Blake Randall, name like that. I just don't trust that that's a real name. This person could be in witness protection. His greatest golf achievement is making the GOLFZON Team Tour. Holy crap, what a sweetheart.
We love it. And rounding out the team in Houston, this is Casey Russell. He said that playing in the Houston weather made him want to bring it indoors, which, the Houston weather doesn't get all too bad, but we know these GOLFZON simulators give you absolutely an ideal experience. So we will see what he has got to offer today for his team in Houston at the Daly Round. Landon, I mentioned it a little bit. This golf course is an absolute American icon. We've got Ryder Cups hosted here. We've had PGA Championships hosted here, and now the GOLFZON Tour. This is signature hole number 4. par 4, 458 yards. This thing about this golf course is that there's so much in play. We're looking at the ocean. We're looking at the sawgrass, all the tricky slopes on the green. This is number 5, par 3, lengthy, 207 yards. Those bunkers, the sand dunes, everything comes into play on this golf course. This is hole number 6, par 4, 455 yards. Definitely on the longer side for these players today. You can see the sand dunes really lines the left edge of that fairway, and we got all kinds of sawgrass in play as well. Let's get going, Landon. Are you pumped up or what?
Nope. I could care less about this match. I'm phoning it in tonight, Emma Carpenter. I don't care about Tulsa. I don't care about Houston. I don't care about anybody but myself, and that's why my dad left.
Oh, well, you know, I for one am extremely eager to see how things shake out here today, Landon. I was hoping that I was going to make that short list of things that you care about also, but I guess not. And they're off, Landon.
Emma.
Yes?
You see the drives?
I did.
Oh.
What did you think of that first swing that we saw?
I thought the Daly Round was average but not super powerful. Tulsa was kind of a weak fade. We're about to see some type of big draw here. He was very close to his target. Super draw. Overdraw. You just see the way that the Tulsa team had their stance super close to the target. That is a textbook drawer stance. Right, Emma Carpenter?
Absolutely. That's how I set up all of the time. I love to close up my feet and swing out to the right with a square club face.
Do you know how inside your swing path is?
Yeah, well, the thing is what a lot of people don't know is that you do have to be careful when you're looking at your swing path on, say, GOLFZON simulators. Because the simulator is aiming you perfectly straight to whichever target you choose, if you do close up your stance and swing along that path, it's basically going to tell you that you are swinging more into out than you actually may be, just because solely you are aimed to the right. If you were aimed to the right and had a perfectly square club path, it would tell you that your club path was into out based on the way that the swing direction is going. So it's not really accounting for your aim. It's just accounting for your golf swing, which is wonderful feedback.
So what is your swing path, your club path?
Usually it's about 2.5, 3 degrees into out.
Oh, that's not that bad. That's not 9 or 10.
Goodness, no. Sometimes it has gotten up to like 4 or 5.
Emma
But more so
Carpenter,
with the driver because I can swing up on it.
Emma, this topic's boring me. Have you ever played Kiawah Island?
Landon, I have been to Kiawah Island many times. I have not actually played the Ocean Course, but I mean, Landon, the Ocean Course is hosted from Ryder Cups to, he was at the PGA Championship, was at the Ocean Course just a few years ago. The scores were so high. The course was playing so tough. This is when Phil Mickelson just had that legendary win at the PGA. Landon, have you ever played the Ocean Course?
Yeah, I played it many years ago with my dad before I got super into golf and really like dedicated myself of seeing how good I could possibly get if I just dedicated my life to the sport. And Kiawah Island can absolutely be a bloodbath. I asked our caddy, does anyone play good here ever? And he said there's only 2 people that have played good here. One, a tour pro with their tour card, and 2, 70-year-old men that hit 200-yard drives in the center of the fairway every time. That's it. If you're even somewhat off, you're dead. You're dead. Just dead.
Oh, wow.
So if
Not
you
just a little dead, you're all dead.
Yeah, I would rather play... If I want to test how good I am, I would rather play Kiawah than Oakmont or Pine Valley just to see how mean golf could be to me.
Well, that's really interesting. So would you say that just it's all around challenges every single part of your game?
Everything. It's and if the wind picks up, it's just not even fun. Well, I guess we should probably talk about this match that we've been hired to broadcast, Emma. I could talk Kiawah Island all day. Emma, give us a little update.
Well, Landon, this hole number 1 is actually the tightest fairway on the golf course, so definitely pleased to see so many balls in play off the tee. We got a birdie putt coming up here for Tony Moss over in Tulsa, but right now in Houston, this is Justin Engel.
Cool thing about this match is Tulsa has one of the highest seeds in the tournament. They played so well in the prep matches, all the way in. Tulsa, give yourself a bow and an ice cream sambo. You earned it. They ranked so high that they had a bye the first week, so they got one step closer to $150,000 without having to take a single gosh darn step. Some people call that cheating. I don't. I call it earning it in the dirt. Nice bogey there, embarrassing. That's all right. You can't win them all. So it might be a Tulsa. What in the world? He says, I don't believe it, but you better believe it, friend. You hit a putt way too far. And he hit a putt just nice. That's par from Tulsa.
Yeah, definitely a really solid start for Tulsa with the birdie par on the first hole. That was a sweet birdie that we saw from Tony Moss, and then Alan Little just taps in his par for the par birdie finish. Justin Engel over in Houston is in for his bogey, and it is looking pretty good for Tulsa on this hole number 1. We got a must-make coming up right now.
Yeah, if Mustache McGee doesn't make this putt right now, he is going to lose them the hole. This is a must-make birdie if they're going to match birdie par out of Tulsa. Everybody, I just want to let you know that I have been paying attention, and I know the rules of this game, and the rules of the game is you take the top 2 scores. The bottom score is thrown out in this 3 versus 3. Tulsa just won because Mustache Magooch blew it.
Well, Landon, it certainly is a team effort. So, I mean, how about this hole number 1 with a win, 1 up through 1, and Tulsa just seems like it's just pretty routine. That's pretty solid demeanor there. Hole number 2, par 5, 543 yards. This was one of our signature holes from the back tee. You're as far from the Atlantic as the ocean course allows, yet the view is just beautiful. It really is. This is a really special par 5. I mean, at 543, we're definitely going to need to see some really big hitters if we want this hole to be reached in too, but we'll have to see here. There's a celebration.
Yeah, that's what we want. We've been finding that the teams that bring a little cheering section with them do get juiced up on the adrenaline and the dopamine factory that crowds can produce. And the more cheering that you have, the less pressure gets put on these players. But they get too jazzed up and become like a little 13-year-old computer programmer drinking ice cold Code Red Mountain Dew in their parents' basement, just working on some type of remove the clothes mod for their different players in the Sims. Follow me, Emma, because this is some good stuff here.
Okay.
They're gonna.
I'm working my hardest.
Yeah, they're gonna end up with icy cool breath. That lasts. Am I right? Mentos. They are the fresh maker, not a title sponsor, but an absolutely delectable candy. Emma Carpenter, back to you in the booth.
Right. So over in Houston, that's Ben Willman. He can hit a pretty deep ball. We saw Tony Moss just casually put one in the center coming off of his birdie. A really solid tee shot from Ben Willman there. Like we said, he's played lots as a professional. Landon, you mentioned that hitting fairways is going to be really important in that start right there for Alan Little. That ball goes out of bounds off the tee. He's going to have to reload.
That's never fun or exciting when you know that all three scores don't count yet. They do count in overtime if we go into extra holes, but you know that at least the worst score is getting dropped. So do you think that that would affect how you play this event, Emma? Or are you just always playing your game? Or when you play a team format like this, do you alter your policy? Do you just hit the fairway finders? Everybody have a ball in play so that you have 3 scores that are great? Or do you let one guy go for it knowing that a score is going to get dropped? What in the world, Emma? What are you doing? You're the captain now, huh? You wanted to be the boss? Now you're the boss. Go ahead. Make the call, captain.
I am the captain now.
That's right.
Yeah, no, Landon, I would say that's a really good question when
I
it
know,
comes
that's why I
to-
asked it, Emma.
No kidding, yeah. So when it comes to strategy in this 3-count-2 format, I think that when you tee off, you got to be aggressive. With the level of play in this Golf Zone Tour, you got to approach every single hole like par isn't going to be good enough for your low 2 scores. But with that being said, you're going to have to adjust within the hole and how your teammates are playing. If you know that your teammate is in trouble, for example, you have a teammate go out of bounds like we just saw here from Alan Little, then that's the time to play it safe, because when you know that one of your teammates is in trouble, it is not the time to get overly aggressive and risk making bogey.
Oh, what a beautiful shot, Little. Good boy. Love that guy. Houston hit 3 absolutely beautiful drives. So they're in a really good spot to take command unless this guy just hits a butter shank out into right field. High fly ball should be caught. Now in real life, that's gone. You forget that you hit a golf ball there and you hope that there's a good drop zone, because Kiawah Island gobbles up golf balls very much akin to hungry hippo. You know what I mean, Emma Carpenter? Tell me about these
Sure. Absolutely. So something that's really, really neat about these Golf Zone simulators and what make these rounds of golf so accurate is that where your ball is on the golf course, the Golf Zone can actually help simulate those different lies. So we saw there, he put the ball down in the rough furthest to the right, which is the green side bunker. That one sits down much more than the one just to the left of it. The lighter shade is the fairway bunker. So Landon, we're seeing lots of players finding some trouble. We've seen some OB, we've seen some hazards.
Yeah, man.
He's gonna take this hole.
Yeah, Team Houston just hit 2 butter shanks out into the orange groves. You got to funnel it down to the proletariat.
Wow. Ouch.
Amen. I don't think
butter
even
shank.
can save him now, friends.
Landon, have you ever hit a butter shank?
Emma Carpenter, I don't know if you know this, but the very first shot you ever saw me hit was a butter shank. And the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, and the seventh, and the eighth, and the ninth, and the 10th.
Landon, you know I love you very much. I would call that more of a cold shank than a butter shank.
Oh, you devil temptress. Yeah, the cool thing about Kiawah that you're seeing on these sims is the really. Oh, by the way, there's an eagle chance, folks. There's an eagle chance, folks. Strap on your big boy undergarments. Oh boy. All right, you can take off those undergarments, everybody, if you haven't already. Eagle chances are fun. We saw just a bonkers amount of eagle chances.
We sure did.
Eagle birdie, and they're gonna have a chance at holding out this for bird.
Tony Moss with 15 and a half feet, just about looking to go birdie for this start right out of the gate. That one falls low.
Yeah, you got to pay really particular attention to that green map. As you see in the upper right-hand corner, the blue is the lowest part of the green, red is the highest, so you can see at home how would you aim. Birdie chance in Tulsa. Let's see if it falls, and it just lips out. Just a little too much pepper or a little bad aim. Either one of those would have resulted in a sexy birdie dropping, but it looks like he's going to have a kick-in par. Nice par. Now, how damaged did Houston get from OB's, Emma Carpenter? I got to be telling you the truth. I was only paying partial attention to Houston. I was just enamored by the way the Tulsa's playing.
Ouch. Ouch, Landon. I feel bad that they weren't getting your full attention because of what was going on over in the other city. But definitely it's penalizing. We see Alan Little in Tulsa made his quadruple bogey, but that one did not count. His teammates are in for par. Meanwhile, over in Houston, they were definitely sort of riding on Ben Willman, who we just saw hit that third shot pitch, ran all the way to the back part of the green. So Houston is definitely not in awesome shape. Their best chance at birdie is right now from 47 feet from Ben Willman. Otherwise, they still have a couple lengthy par putts left.
I don't know why I called out that somebody had an eagle putt. It's a par 4. There's nobody that drove 388 yards. People, I might be a pathological liar. What a terrible call, Emma. Emma, you ever called a match just to get into a player's head and said the wrong thing just to mess with them? Maybe that's what my intent was. Just blows past that putt. Rough. That's a Pete Dye course for you, Emma Carpenter. Right?
That sure is. Pete Dye, I mean, he doesn't keep it simple and he doesn't make it easy out there. Over in Tulsa with their par. Now Houston is just going to be trying to match 25 feet, and that is not straight, Landon.
No, it's not. I did a course vlog at TPC, Louisiana. Let everybody see every shot that I hit there on camera. It's pretty fun. And Pete Dye constructed that, and every time I hit a fairway, I'd scream out in triumphant applause, "Suck it, Pete Dye!" It was big on the internet, Emma. Got a lot of views. I gotta tell you, look at those handsome people. Look at all these good-looking folks out there supporting their home team. That makes me happy, Emma Carpenter. You ever have anybody cheer you on, or did you come from a loveless home?
Oh, wow. Well, Landon, I was extremely fortunate. I came from a home with my parents having a flexible enough schedule to be able to come and watch me play lots of college events, which was so much fun.
All right. Yeah, all right. Nobody cares about your great childhood, Emma Carpenter. They care about me growing up in a cardboard box with the only friend I had was a pet mouse named Tinkerbell. Why did I name it Tinkerbell? That was its name when I found it. Don't ask questions. I think Houston's going to be 2 down.
2 down through 2. It's awfully different than the start they got off to in their previous match versus Monterey. They got off to a really hot start.
Oh, great.
Justin Engel is in for his par, but his teammates are looking like they're both going to make bogey.
We got to get that Justin Engel on some type of weight-gaining protein shake or something. He looks like he could blow away with a stiff wind, Emma Carpenter. Man after my own
Landon. Heart. Oh, no. He looks great.
Well, I didn't say that he looks bad. I'm just saying that he's like me. He's tall and skinny. It's hard to absolutely mash the golf ball without a little bit of mass behind that club head.
Oh, that's not always true. There are plenty of lean men and women on the PGA Tour and LPGA Tour who can totally move the golf ball. Tulsa wins this hole, going 2 up, and the crowd is just expecting it, I suppose.
Yeah, the crowd has gone mild. That's all right. That girl's checking her Instagram, or maybe she's checking the Golf Zone YouTube and Instagram page where you can see some pretty great updates. Check it out anytime. We're on hole number 3. It's a par 4, 390 yards. Island like D, you'll cross a across a marsh with extremely wide fairways. Best drives will find a plateau on the left side of the fairway, and then you get the best look at the putting surface. Even half wedge can be treacherous. Play missing this green will face, or players facing this green's going to face a very difficult up and down. Emma Carpenter distracted me with her absolute stunning beauty and made me mess up my words. Emma, do you normally have that effect on men and women?
Definitely not, Landon, but I'm flattered.
Well, I covered for my mistake well with ruthless compliments. Little tumbler, was that old Moss back? Hitting it 250-yard drive in the center of the fairway?
Yeah, no, Tony Moss, he just puts it out there nice and steady. That's 3 fairways in a row now, just right in the center, right about 250. But that's all he needs to get the job done. He's had a couple birdie putts and converted one of them.
You know, it's so true. On a course like this, you do have an advantage because you can see the fairway kind of slopes there. So if you're familiar with geometry, you want your X plane as long as your Y plane, and if you marry those two up, then you're going to have a tangential curve. Now, if you have a tangential curve, if you can hit the ball right to left, you expound upon your surface area by a factor of 2. Now, if you're not geometry folks, that's smart people talk. For if you can hit a draw here, you have twice as much fairway to work with as if you fade the golf ball. So you also don't need to be real long here because it's not a super long hole. So, you know, one of my famous sayings is you show me a 150-yard shot and I'm going to show you a birdie putt afterwards. So as long as you can get in your definitely going to have a birdie putt range, you're good to go. Sometimes that's not driver. Am I right, Emma Carpenter? Am I right?
You absolutely are, Landon. Wow, what a phenomenal call. Wow. Will you coach me?
That's enough of you.
Will you coach me? You didn't answer my question, though.
Will I coach you? Apparently, I hit cold shanks. Why would you want me to coach you, Emma Carpenter? You with your cyberbullying. Back to episode 2 of the Golf Zone Tour. And if you're just hopping in on episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you can go on that YouTube machine that you kids use and watch some of the previous episodes. You like our witty commentary? You like Emma Carpenter's handsome hands and great sports calls? Well, you just tune in and watch whatever you want, folks, because the Golf Zone Tour is here, even if my father wasn't growing up. That looks like a nice platter. I bet you had one of those in your lovely home where your parents love you, Emma. Oh, hole go in. Ah, farts. That could be off the back of the green. And that's Pete Dye for you. He's a diabolical.
Ooh, this one just hanging on by a thread. Tony Moss up for his birdie from 35 feet, while meanwhile, we're seeing a solid swing. That ball's got to get up just a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just had a sip of crisp, refreshing, hot chocolate. Sorry for that lull in the call. You were thinking that you're not going to hear my stupid voice for the rest of the night. Boy, is that a tragic miscalculation. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Landon, I do not know what we would all do without your voice. We missed you there for those few seconds.
God bless you. Got a birdie putt here in Tulsa. We got a birdie chip there in Houston. Now, if you look at the upper left-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see a few data parameters that Golf Zone gives you. First one, you're going to see the player's screen name, as it were, is gamer tag. A little flag, that is how far they have away from the pin. The number next to that, we'll wait for it to pop back up. Actually, you can see it on the upper right-hand corner of the screen now. And now you can't see anything. I feel like the control room is against me. Par putt here in Tulsa. Control room, you ever do that to me again, I will engage you in fisticuffs and let you beat me up in front of my friends. Great putt there in Tulsa. Very nice
very good putt from Blake Randall in Tulsa. The Tulsa, Oklahoma native. I like the smile on his face. Ben Willman. Now his birdie putt,
So
35 feet.
next number is how far they have. And then the third means that's their third shot heading into their fourth shot. So then you know it's a par putt. So if we're not calling the match diligent enough for you or diligently enough, you can see exactly what stroke they're on. So this is a par 4 hole. And it says fourth.
Tulsa.
Fourth hit for par.
Oh, excuse me, Landon. Did not mean to step on you there. Tulsa is in for par. They put on a third par just for good measure. Meanwhile, Houston is still heading up. Justin Engel, 19 and a half feet for his par. They're going to need a couple of big par putts here to push this hole to avoid going 3 down through 3.
Brutal. Oh, just short and right.
All right, now this coming up, Landon, is a must make. If this putt does not go in, it will be Tulsa 3 up.
I think they can do it.
We need a par, right?
Yeah, you need a par. Love it that they're engaging with each other, getting a little bit of team chatter. You know what I mean, Emma Carpenter?
Absolutely, I love that.
Those beautiful puffy white clouds. What cool course rendering. Yeah. That is Tulsa 3 up after 3 holes. We might see our first GOLFZON blowout.
That's right, Landon. It is absolutely. Oh my goodness! Big thumbs up, big smile. Love it. Absolutely love it. The energy over at Birdie Bay is absolutely electric. The Daly Round, however, they're going to want to step up their game to catch up, to narrow down this deficit.
Well, living in Houston, it's very hot most of the year, and I enjoy playing golf, but not in 105-degree heat. So it was something that we wanted to do. Really like the technology, and wanted to start a business. A lot of the junior golfers that come in enjoy playing the technology that we have here, so it's been interesting to see that. We have regulars, members who come in just for an hour, sometimes play around a golf or just analyze their swing for 1 or 2 hours, which has been, I think, overall beneficial for their game.
My favorite part of the simulator is it's 72 degrees. You want a serious answer? Sim golf has helped my game because it's kind of point and shoot, so I can sort of grind my golf swing in to the places that I want it to be.
We'd like to open up several more locations similar to this. I see more convenience out of being in indoor golf. That increases more people playing.
Landon, since you know this place so well, why don't you tell us about hole number 4?
I'd love to, Emma Carpenter. You have 3 bunkers there in the middle of the fairway. It's par 4, 450. 3 delicious, handsome yards. It's the most difficult hole on the outward 9. Unless you're Emma Carpenter, then it's nothing as hard. And the second shot is the largest green that can be played with nearly every club in the bag from 8 iron up. You're playing against the wind. If you do, you might want to bail out left to save you a par chip, because you can get a bogey even if you're just off the green here, just as easily as you could get a double bogey. This green complex is absolutely brutal, and I'm telling you folks, you have never played Kiawah in the wind, then you've never been to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. It is punishing in the wind. It just makes you wish that you were literally anywhere else. Remember, you ever been out on the golf course and thought, well, this just isn't really, there's just nothing enjoyable about this right now?
Oh, absolutely. That's what competitive golf will do to you. all the freezing rain, the days that it's questionable whether or not the course is even playable. All of that is just it makes golf a little less fun, you could say.
Carpenter, did you go anybody to college with anybody who just they ate, bathed, and slept, and just their entire existence was golf? In the hotel rooms at night, they were putting at if they had to be at practice at 7:00 p.m. after their classes were over, they got there at 4:30 and were hitting golf balls for 3 hours before anybody else, and just literally lived golf in college.
Oh my gosh, Landon, you are describing my good friend Ben Warrion, who is the hardest worker I have ever seen in my life. I'm talking eat, sleep, bathe, golf. He would go to class, or he would get up in the morning and he'd go practice before class. He'd go to class and he would go to the team's 3:00 team practice, and he would be getting home the same time as the other guys who were coming back from the bars that night at bar close.
And is he on tour, right? Oh no, 2 hilarious golf balls into a tree out in a row. That man is the king of hazards. He call him the Duke of Hazards because he's duking it out with the hazards. That was a great sport to call him a Carpenter. Did that guy ever go pro?
He just turned professional. That's right. He had a sponsor's exemption to the 3M Open PGA Tour event in Minnesota. We went and watched him. He was like 5 under par through his first 9 in a PGA Tour event. It was crazy to watch. He's such a good golfer. But I mean, seriously, he was at the practice facility for 11 hours straight.
It's amazing. And would the coaches be there for him? Like, if you're a college, very nice shot there. If you're a college player and you tell your coaches, I dedicate myself to this wholly, and I need your help. I'm a coach. I'm a player that likes being coached. Will they do that for you?
Absolutely. Yes, I personally believe that in college golf, which a lot of the players, not all, but some of the players that we're watching here today did play in college. I would say, in my opinion, it is the coach's responsibility to communicate with the players on whether or not they want some individual help. Especially once you start getting into technique, just because a lot of players come into college with a swing coach that they have already, somebody that they work with, a whole routine that's gotten them as good as they are. And I think that a lot of people have had the experience of once you get too many cooks in the kitchen, sometimes it's not always favorable.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just thought, now that I become a plus handicap golfer and I don't have, I never played in college, would it be worth going back to college, playing 4 years and getting a degree in underwater basket weaving or what have you? Back to this match, folks. Enough of our academic endeavors. We've got a couple birdie chips at Houston and a birdie putt. My goodness, they're just rattling pins now. Very nice shot out of Houston. It's good to see them trying to fight back a couple of downer holes. They are 3 down after 3, Team Houston, and we are seeing possibly a team in their death throes, if you know what I mean.
Ben, you think hit some of the
Overputt here in Tulsa.
like playing like a proper bunker?
See that blinking on the screen just above them. In case you get lost, Emma Carpenter does a inadequate job of talking about how great she was in college and how many friends she had growing up. She can go ahead, lull you into a sleepless slumber, knowing that at any point you can see those graphics on the screen to let you know what player's up, what their current ranking is, and what shot they are facing. So we can see here in Houston, this is his 4th shot, so this is his par, a par chip. And in Tulsa, this is his 3rd shot, so he's going for bird, just a tiny little bird. And tweet, mofo, that finds the back of the cup.
Whew, that was a dead straight birdie putt, and that never left the hole. That was so clutch. It's likely going to be a birdie bogey in Tulsa. Tony Moss with the casual 2-under par through 4. Why not? That's the bogey locked in Tulsa for the even par cumulative, or not cumulative, the even par total score, team score on that hole. And over in Houston, we got another 40-foot birdie putt from Ben Willman. He has had a few of these already today. Let's see if he learned anything. This one a little bit more straightforward than the last couple. See if he can find the cup.
He's wearing the hell out of those pants, Emma. All right.
He looks great. He looks great. Those. Do you have a pair of pants that are similar to those, Landon?
I've never found a pair of pants that fit me as well as those look like they're fitting him. He's wearing them up and down the Golden Gate Bridge, if you know what I mean. Sensible pair of slacks there. Would give anything to look like that in a pair of pants. Sadly, I look like Gumby's parents if his parents were a number 2 pencil. Know what I mean, Emma Carpenter? I got no butt. And it's well documented on the internet. Very nice putt from Houston. Let's see if it falls. Oh, man. Both of these putts are must make, and they're little 5-footers, and they are going to go down. I guarantee you that they're going to make both these par putts, and it's going to be a push. That's what I'm sensing, Emma Carpenter.
Do you line up your putts on the greens, Landon?
It's a great question, Emma Carpenter, and I find that to be very offensive and highly personal.
Oh, I apologize for that. This is a must make to push the hole to really stop this bleed out at the start of the match from Houston. Ain't no thing, no problem. Bottom of the cup, that'll be a push, but Houston remains 3 down.
To answer your question slightly less sarcastic, Emma Carpenter, sometimes I put a line on a ball and sometimes I don't. I don't really have an aim sort of scenario. Hole number 5, par 3, 207 tasty yards. You don't want to be short, you're going to be in that bunker. You don't want to be long, you're going to be in that bunker. Don't want to be left, you're going to be in that bunker. And don't want to be right, you're going to be in that bunker. How do you feel about 300-yard or 200-yard par 3s, Emma Carpenter?
I would say in college, I actually really liked a long par 3 just because I would say the strength of my golf game is the length that I have with my woods and with my irons. So oftentimes I could get a little bit more spin than a lot of my competitors who are maybe hitting a hybrid or a wood when I could hit iron. So I felt like I had a little bit of an advantage on these longer par 3s, but I mean, they're never easy. Par always feels good on a hole like this.
Yeah, agree with that. Yeah, if you're on the green of a 200-yard par 3, you're feeling okay. 200 yards is a long iron for most players, and getting it on the green complex is a bonus. That's a very stumpy swing, but he makes it work for him. You're not going to get a lot of distance out of that swing just because he doesn't store much lag up and fires that lower body, which really gets his club stuck behind him. So he has to push really hard off that lead leg. And then that side bend, if you don't have a ton of shaft lean, you are just losing all your dynamic loft. And that is where his swing is just being sucked of speed.
Definitely, Landon. I think that one of the bigger problems, too, is when you do play that big of a draw, it works a lot better with a driver when you want the ball to roll as far as possible. But from a spin standpoint, it's a lot harder to control how much your ball is going to run out. So if you're playing a really big draw, the ball is not going to land as softly. It's going to run further. It's going to run to the left. So when you're really trying to dial in an approach shot, a little bit more of a neutral or even cut swing oftentimes works better. But if you have the draw absolutely dialed, you know exactly what it's going to do and how far it's going to run out, then there's no problem. I personally do like to hit draws with my irons, but I had to be careful when I knew that left was no good.
What would you do if you knew that left was dead?
If I knew that left was dead, I would usually aim to the right and then just try to hit a fairly straight shot. And if it drew a little bit, which was a tendency for me, then it just drew to the flag. But if it stayed straight, then I was still going to be in perfectly good shape.
Nearly saw a player from Tulsa tumble off the hitting surface. That would have been hilarious. Birdie putt here from Captain Sensible Dockers.
Another one of these insanely lengthy birdie putts that Ben Willman has. He had a really good pace on his last one. And like we said, par is usually going to be pretty safe score for these teams on these long par fours, or excuse me, these long par threes.
Oof, didn't read that one perfectly. Very short and a little left, but he's going to be all right. I believe in him. Oh, very nice putt from Team Tulsa. Just burns the edge.
Wow. Tony Moss is a very good golfer.
Yeah, he is. There's not really any terrifically bad golfers out there. Somebody is 5 over, which is a bit embarrassing. Is that eight over?
Just a couple of bad holes for Alan Little. Luckily, his teammates had his back. That's what makes this 3-count-2 format so fun.
Got to get legs. Yeah, everybody hit their lag putt short. Playing defensive golf, it seems, but just being a little too ginger. He doesn't understand it. Thought he hit it more, but these greens are very fast. Just what he said.
The problem is when it gets over this ridge in front of me, it's straight downhill.
Yeah, talking strategy.
You guys are coming uphill.
That's something that has actually been really fun to watch over at the Daly Round for Team Houston. We saw this a lot with our match versus Monterrey, Mexico, when they, as the 6th seed, upset Mexico being the 2 seed, and the 1 seed, Tulsa is now the 2 seed. And so Houston, they actually love to consult each other lots. You see them walking up, reading putts together, talking strategy, and I think that that's definitely an advantage. They won in a playoff against the 1 seed in Monterrey, and I think that it may be due to partially talking and communicating that strategy.
You're right, Emma. See if he can't jar this for par. Again, he has a putt that just trickles off the mountain if he doesn't drop it. Oh, great putt. That was a big, big putt for him. Another par out of Tulsa. Houston makes this next par putt. They will win $150,000 cash. No, I'm just joking. They're only going to win this hole, but they're one step closer to it. Bogey out of Tulsa. So it seemed as if Tulsa was, Emma Carpenter, stop me if I'm wrong, but did Tulsa go bogey, bogey, par, or par, par, bogey?
Bogey, bogey, par. So that's a 1 over score for the low 2 scores in Tulsa. So if Ben Willman makes this 11-footer for par, that means the par will win Houston this hole.
Oh, and he doesn't do it. The washed up tour pro misses it, but don't worry. This is a 3v3 and the best 2 scores count. So this is a must make 6-footer. Emma, what do you think the chances are that he misses it?
Oh boy, you know, the putt's definitely moving a little bit. I think that he's got this one.
Emma got it on the back door.
Ooh. All around good putt, Landon.
Little hat tip. Houston just clawed one of their downed holes back, and they are now just down 2. Look at that festive holiday decor in Team Houston. They have the Christmas spirit. Emma Carpenter, why don't you walk us through this next hole?
I would be absolutely honored. This is hole number 6, par 4, 55 yards. Most perfect drive is directly at that center oak off the tee with a little bit of a draw. You can see that this hole is just a slight dogleg to the left. It's protected on the left and short right by sand. That green is. So, I mean, I think that 2 solid shots, we know that Tulsa likes to hit draws. 2 solid tee shots is going to leave you in pretty good shape.
So would a sensible diet and a very nice exercise plan. Don't be afraid to get out there and get yourself some 10,000 steps each day, folks. If you're just sitting there on your computer, you go ahead and keep sitting. But if you're on your phone watching the Golf Zone Tour, don't be afraid to walk and watch so that you are getting recommended exercise from the American Cardiological Association. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Blows through the fairway there in Houston. That's all right. He's got a mustache. He can do anything. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
If that's the case, then wow, a lot more golfers are going to be trying to grow mustaches.
Isn't that the truth? Mustaches and a very popular thing on tour days. Only a couple players I can think with one. Regular old rat scallion. Joel Damon sometimes has a mustache. Isn't that right?
Oh, he's a great guy. He is a very, very cool guy, Joel Damon is.
Take your word for it, Emma. I'm not as fancy as you. I don't have such cool friends.
Oh, isn't that the furthest thing from the truth?
Nope.
I expect more honesty out of my co-host.
Nah, you're not going to get it. I'm just friends with a bunch of degenerate gamblers that have never done it in their life and never will.
That is false, but here's Ben Willman in Houston. Houston coming off of that win. We are already through 5 holes. Houston 2 down. That's the thing about this simulator golf, the pacing, the way that one carried 300 yards, really impressive. But the pacing of this match, being able to quickly move from shot to shot and hole to hole, makes it so sometimes you don't realize how few holes you have left. So you got to make every single stroke and every single hole count, because the last thing you want is to be dormy coming down the stretch.
And nobody likes being dormy. You saw that golf ball sailing past his screen there in Houston. This is one of your first time watching Golf Zone match. Don't know why you'd start halfway through the season. That would be a ridiculous thing to do. But if you're that type of ridiculous person, they are playing live right now. Team Houston and Team Tulsa, their simulators are linked up. Golf Zone's one of the only companies in the world, if not the only company in the world, that allows this connected play. So if you got a buddy in Chicago and a concubine in Hawaii, and they are linked up through Golf Zone Sims, you can all play golf at the same time. It's making dreams come true. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
You are 100% right, Landon. The opportunity that these teams have here to face on against other players across the country, in different countries. I mean, what a unique opportunity, and makes this tour like none other.
139 yards should be a nice, comfortable pitching wedge for him. Crowd's just going to go crazy when he hits this. See if he get a little English on it. Might have accidentally picked the 9-iron out of his bag. Hopefully not an 8-iron. That would be comedic overjudgment of power. Got a 129 yards from the old washed-up tour pro Clink McGuffin. Let's see if he can't hit this pitching wedge real nice and point Point like a tiger. Well, Carpenter, tigers freak you out?
Well, I don't see why they wouldn't. You know, I actually did just go to the zoo and got to see some tigers. I thought that they were awesome.
They're man-eaters,
They were-
Carpenter, and lion will eat your face off. Not think twice about it. You call it catnip, if you know what I mean.
Lions are, oh my gosh, they are real majestic creatures. They are
Just a
beautiful.
creature that'll eat your face and not even think twice about it.
Oh, how about this shot from Ben Willman? Very, very impressive.
Ready to get after it in Tulsa and Houston. We got one person in already for par. This is a birdie chance in Houston, par chance in Tulsa. It goes lipping around. Could not capture the gravity well. Houston's trying to determine what he wants to do with this reed. You can see those little dashed arrows showing you the undulation. You've got the green map showing you the temperature of the green. Nice birdie in Tulsa. Atta boy. Carpenter, you ever gotten a birdie before?
Oh, once or twice.
Atta girl. Birdie par in Tulsa already. Upcoming birdie putt, Houston. Tulsa has already finished the hole, it seems. Houston, it's taking slightly longer to finish the hole. Pace of play, am I right, Emma Carpenter? We should dock these guys a 20-minute overtime for delay a game. Little mixed metaphor. I'm not good with sports terminology, but Emma Carpenter sure is.
Well, pace of play here. You know, Landon, they know that $150,000 is on the line if they make it to the next match, make it to the finals, and win at the PGA show. That's $150K. They want to take their sweet time.
Isn't that the truth? Must make the stay in the hole right here. Houston, I don't think that he's going to miss it. Oh, actually, there's a little bit of junk in this putt. This is a missable putt.
Oh gosh, 10 and a half feet right to left, the ones that just feel like you should make. I don't think I ever made them, Landon.
Was that right?
Oh, wow. Oh gosh,
Brutal.
looked good for so long. That will be a Tulsa win on the hole to go back to 3 up through 6.
Look at that ball. It's like sitting halfway in the hole. That is heartbreaking. That's when you hope for a stiff wind.
This is Birdie Bay, and it's a GOLFZON affiliate. So we have GOLFZON simulators. Back when I was in the Navy, I had the privilege of being stationed in Busan, South Korea. Lived out in town, and the apartment that I lived in had GOLFZON simulators in the basement. Not even much of a golfer before then. Fell in love with the simulators. Moved back home after I got out of the Navy, which is here in Tulsa. My brother convinced me, like, hey, let's try to open one of those up. One thing led to another, and now you're here, and we're doing the GOLFZON Tour. Birdie Bay is where it's always golf weather.
Especially now, you know, it's 20 degrees outside. A lot of people aren't going to be going outside to play golf. So just having a facility where people can come in here and play in 70-degree weather, no matter what it is outside, and be able to play a full 18 in under an hour if you're by yourself. I mean, that's...
For the technology, I think the big thing is how it just matches reality.
This is the best thing that you can do to, you know, get as close as you can to the real world. And, you know, with just the technology, and as soon as somebody comes in here and looks at it, they're like, okay, this is cool. I still think the love of the game is going to be there, regardless whether you're indoors or out. You know, as big metropolitan areas run out of green grass courses, and I think a lot of people are going to start to come indoors.
I think it's going to make a lot of people see, hey, this is pretty close to real golf. And in real golf, your buddy's on the other cart, you know, 50 yards away. On these, they're right next to you. They see your shot, you give them a high five. The goal of Birdie Bay is to make golf accessible, affordable, and just keep it fun, and just just make sure that barrier to entry is real smooth, where anybody who has a golf club can come hit some balls.
Emma Carpenter, boy, oh boy, have we seen some ups and downs from Team Houston. This team, Tulsa, is playing very tight golf.
Yeah, Landon, I think that Tulsa's just been really steady, really solid. Houston has been a little hot and cold. We've only seen, I believe, one pushed hole so far. It's a little bit back and forth, but mostly in the favor of Tulsa. Tulsa now back to 3 up through 6, which may seem like there's lots of golf left to get that back, but you push a few more holes, and next thing you know, Houston is going to find themselves in some must-win situations, which is not where you want to be.
That is the truth. We'll see some replays here. Downtown Judy Brown, Tulsa jarring it like 10 cup. Nice little birdie putt there. High fives all about. Not once, but twice. He's got a stubby little wristy putter, kind of like Donald Trump, but he found a way to work it. Also have some dead sticks and flat sticks in Houston. Nice little 10-foot scrub up for par. And then we're going to see a little hat tip back in Tulsa, and he is going to jar that one, and that is for the W on the hole. Emma Carpenter, you a natural blonde?
Naturally not quite this blonde, but Landon, hole number 7, par 5, 527 yards. Little dog leg to the right. Wind conditions usually determine strategy for this tee shot, so the players are going to have to pay attention to what it says it's doing on the simulator. Once the decision is made for whether you want to play up the right or up the left, the second shot can be fired at this slightly elevated green that is real open in the front, but you can see it's got that bunker, running all the way up the left side.
See what we can't do with their drives here in Tulsa and Houston. As you know, Team Tulsa is 3 up after 6 holes of play. We are on a long par 5, Kiawah Island, 526 yards. Even if you hit a 300-yard drive, you still got 230, and that's a... Is that about a 3/4 5-iron for you, Emma Carpenter?
230?
Yeah.
230 yards is just like a smooth 7-iron.
Love that for you. What if you find yourself 250 out in the center of the fairway, Emma? Are you using driver off the deck? You hitting 3 wood short? You laying up to your 50 distance?
Why do you assume that my 3 wood come up short of 250?
I have no idea, Emma Carpenter. I wouldn't make such a...
Why are you making that assumption?
Wasn't. I was just laying out postulates. It's up to you. You might need to work on your defensiveness, Emma Carpenter. Teach that in announcing school.
Oh, I am just messing with you, Landon. I would use 3... I would... Oh, okay. I'm the cyber bully. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I would use 3 wood from a 250. And if I had the right bounce, it could get there. I usually plan for my 3 wood to go about 240, 245. So unless it's like I need some crazy long cover, I would hit 3 wood from 250.
Love that about you. Did you make it? How do you hit your 3 wood 250 but your driver 260? Explain that BS.
I hit my driver about 275.
Oh, dope.
Times 280.
Dope. What's your driver swing speed? 100?
100, a little bit over sometimes.
Dope.
Thank you so much. How about you, Landon?
It all depends on what I'm trying to do. I swing it anywhere between 105 and 125, depending on what I'm trying to do. If I have to be in the fairway, I'll choke down and swing 105. Be guaranteed I'll be in the center of the fairway. If it's a little windier, I'll play it in the back of my stance and cut down on my angle of attack a little bit. If it's helping breeze in a wide open fairway, right off that front left toe and swing up on it and get as hard as I possibly can.
There you go. I love that. We just saw an excellent shot in Tulsa. This is the third shot in regulation for Tony Moss. That one goes just a little bit long, but we saw a green reached in 2 from Blake Randall. Blake Randall only 25 feet for eagle. Pretty impressive golf swing. Now here's Alan Little. Just going a little long again over in Houston. Casey takes a rip at it. Says he did not catch all of it.
Arts. 216 out for Washed Up Pro. So he got a 300 yarder, maybe 310. He hit the Jesus out of that thing.
Oh yeah, he hits the golf ball a long ways. He's definitely the longest hitter in this group that we're watching today, carrying the golf ball about 300 yards, sometimes even a little bit longer.
I don't see anybody having hit the green in 2, did they?
Yes,
could be the first one.
We saw Blake Randall. Blake Randall is on 24 feet for eagle. Now Ben Willman's still a good golf shot, but he'll have a little bit longer. He's just there on that front fringe, maybe fairway.
Got to put it up, got to put it down. And that's just going to roll off. That is a treacherous pin position. It is right on the ridge, so you can be short, you can be long, but you cannot be left or right. You got to have a very accurate thing. You can putt in Tulsa. Pretty exciting times. Houston tried to butter that thing up, but couldn't get it past the
Boom!
Oh, we got a eagle, our first eagle of the day, I believe. Big eagle out of Tulsa. What a putt.
Oh, I love the flap of the wings from the spectators, the gallery on their feet for a moment, celebrating that eagle from Blake Randall, and he's sitting with a little bit of swagger now, as he should.
He's got to be feeling just a real good sense of self-satisfaction at the wonderful thing that he just accomplished, and that wonderful thing is giving his team a very low score.
Blake Randall says that he got into indoor golf simply because he went to Birdie Bay once and just absolutely loved it. And now here he is making eagle for the GOLFZON Tour.
You wonder how long he's been playing the game, Emma Carpenter. If he's just picking it up and is already making eags, for those of you at home, it might be time to take up pickleball. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Pickleball is a great sport, but how about this too, Landon? Blake Randall has actually never played competitive golf. He's never played in a tournament. He didn't play college golf. So this year on the GOLFZON Tour is as competitive as he's been, and he's definitely showing up under the pressure.
He's doing great. He might want to go ahead and get in a men's league. Seems like he has the knack for competitive golf. Barely pulled that out in Houston. What great hands.
Wow. Oh, boy, would that have been helpful. The eagle chip from Ben Willman. That was a really, really good effort.
Yeah, his handicap is showing up, finally. We're going to put one down. He's got some pretty soft hands here in Houston. He's going to butter this one up. Just let the weight of that club get that thing up in the air and let his body rotation send that club around to the left, keeping a square, stable club face. This should land real buttery soft if he keeps his hands soft. Yeah, boy, oh boy, do I call him. A little too buttery soft, just need a little bit more body rotation. He's a little disappointed on himself. He's going to have to wax that mustache. You know what I mean, Emma Carpenter?
Why does he need to wax the mustache?
Your business, Emma. Does it feel like the energy has started to go down just a little bit between these two cities?
Definitely. You can't help but think that over in Houston, I mean, gosh, Houston is going to need to go birdie par to match the eagle bogey over in Tulsa. Eagle bogey gets them at 1 under, so we're going to need a birdie par from Houston just to push.
Yeah, there is only one player who has gotten who is under par right now. Oh, wow, just barely falls. What a big putt. That was from downtown. That was from 22 feet, a very, very low tour make percentage. So that was actually a really hard putt. It's going to make this putt here in Houston to win the hole. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, a terrible call by Landon Ashworth. That was not for birdie. All right, this is a birdie chance. Now you can just see right on the screen there, whoever is up, it will show what the score is if they make the hole. All I would have had to do was read the screen, but I absolutely blew it. Easy birdie, wins the hole. They are only 2 down now.
Wow, Landon, after Blake Randall dropped that lengthy eagle just right in the center cut of the hole, they thought that they had it all but locked up. Definitely a bummer that they didn't have another birdie or even a par to add to that score. So that will result in a loss here for Team Tulsa. Houston trying to claw their way back in it. Turtle race, slowly but surely.
Yeah, they think they're just trying to get as many winning holes under their belt as they can. This is the hole number 8, par 3, 197, another 200-yard par 3. That's no fun. Right, Emma Carpenter?
The 200-yard par 3, we saw that. I believe this was the only pushed hole. We had some pars, a par score from each team. So again, I think that par score is going to be pretty good, but that flag is right there in the middle of the green, which is very helpful. So I think that players are going to have no problem getting a little bit more aggressive here.
You can see the players are adjusting their view there, figuring out where they want their start line to be, how they want it to land onto this green. There's a shelf right, a shelf left. Short is the play here, so you're not left with just a nasty putt. Little duck hook there out of Team Tulsa. You can see he's disappointed. Womp womp. Kept that one short, but just a little bit too short. Just need to be either a little long or just a little short. Left and right is dead. Yeah, caught that right edge. As you can see, it just kind of jumped off, and he's going to have a extremely tough chip coming back. But, you know, it's about right when Burt Langquist and famous Brandel Chambly make a call that they said this player's dead, that they hold out and make the announcer look like an idiot.
Ooh. Great chip there from Alan Little, and Tulsa just burns the edge. Here's the swing from Ben Willman.
And a lot of players short.
Yeah.
Yeah, this green is brutal, but he was able to put it within 3 feet. Nice chip there. Might be a little tidy par.
Here's Casey Russell.
Box.
This one looking really solid. Oh. Something that I've noticed, Landon, is I do think that Team Tulsa has done a very good job of dialing in the short game and having good distance control. Houston, a few times when they've been just off around the green, they have not so much had their chips dialed. Let's see if Justin Engel can kind of turn that around. Yeah, this is what we've seen a lot from Houston. Just these chips running way by, giving them way less of an opportunity to save that par.
Isn't that right? That cheering section from Team Tulsa. I just love that camaraderie. Really beautiful. If you want to go in the golf simulator and play with one of your friends far away, if you want to bring a whole cheering section, bring it on. Chipping for his birdie. On the left, putting for his par on the right. Swing it, but cannot swing it in. See what Ben can't do. Begging for it to go, and it says, I cannot hear you. My headphones are in, and also we're in a library. Keep your voice down.
Blake
Carpenter, have you ever
Randall
screamed out
makes
loud
his
in a
par.
library?
Have I ever screamed out loud in a library?
And just go ahead and let that anger that is just right below the surface of you go.
Well, I don't think so. But we've got another. That was a bogey made in Tulsa. And we got a putt from Justin Engel for par. That will result in likely a bogey. Look at this double breaker that we have. Casey Russell with the birdie attempt. The only player on the green, I believe, between these two teams. But here he is. He's got a 33-foot double breaker.
I think so.
Come on, big boy. Make this thing fall. Make this for birdie. He's currently 3 over. 33-foot putt. It is going to dive at the end slightly uphill. It's going to take the gravity of that hole. It is a hard putt. You got to be well above the hole. He never started that thing on line, but that's not his fault. He slept at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Carpenter, you ever sleep at a Holiday Inn Express?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, you strike me as a Motel 6 kind of girl.
Exactly.
Gotta tell you, can't get over these pants. Great looking pair of pants. Houston's about to clinch her back up with a couple par putts. Got a chance of clawing yet another stroke back. He's using a lab golf putter there. Oh, it doesn't fall, but again, these greens are really hard. It's going to be an easy par cleanup. He needs to make it, but it's going to be very easy. Just a 4-footer dead straight. Oh, easily makes his bogey there. See if he can't make this for par. Just a 4-footer, slightly breaking right. It would be an embarrassing failure to miss this, but I don't think he's going to miss it though. Yep, right in the back of the cup. Very easy tied up. And I think they're going to push this hole. Push isn't gonna hurt him though, is it, Emma Carpenter?
It
That
sure
did-
isn't.
Hole number
sure-
9, par 4. Sorry, Emma, I keep cutting you off because I just
Oh.
think that I'm so much more important. That's a joke. We are equals. 464 yards wide fairway, sloping down from the right. It's gonna make the drive length more important than direction. Putting surface is open in the front, but it presents plenty of tough up and down chances from an assortment of grassy swale and deep sand areas on both the left, but a very shallow bunker there on the right. That tiny little hot bunker looks like a tiny little skittle. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
No movement. Don't need to move it at all.
Well, I don't see why not. There's Blake Randall over in Tulsa. He likes it. Quick walk away, no problem. Carries about 280, runs out to 300 over. Big swing out of Casey Russell now.
Did you see that
This hole,
side bend, Emma?
Yeah, I did. It was real nice. Again, this hole setting up well for Tulsa, knowing they all really like to hit draws.
Well, it's a bit of an overdraw, otherwise known as a Kentucky hook. Tall and thin, but that's the ability to whip that club around you. Club head speed. Really curious what his club head speed is. Let's see if it'll give us a readout. Overdrew that one, finds the left rough, but old Mossback Tony Moss finds the center cut.
Just straight, right?
He is not long, but he is straight, and if you can hit some straight drives, you're in a pretty great place to hit scratch golf. Like washed up tour pro Ben cares about his wrist positions. He seems as if with his swing, he is just fighting for his life to keep a square club face through impact. It feels like that's a feel that he's trying to have on his practice swings is a nice square club face at impact. Emma Carpenter, do you have any pre-shot routines that you're trying to do, or are you focusing on multiple things all at once? Are you focusing on a particular miss that you have at the time?
Definitely, Landon. And it's funny you mentioned face stability and keeping that club face square through impact, because for me, if I can have my club face square at about position 2 of my takeaway, then usually I'm able to keep it square through the golf swing, or through impact, I should say. So I love to do a takeaway feel and just take the club back slightly, right about where I would stop when my my golf club is parallel to the ground, just to check to make sure that club face is square. And then I try to emulate the exact same feeling when I do the golf swing.
Love that about you.
Oh, why, thank you.
Moving floor plate, as you can see, going to be faced with a downhill lie in Houston. Tulsa had a pretty square lie. These position mats will go into 64 different permutations, giving you just about any single lie you'd ever face on a golf course, something that makes GOLFZON simulators pretty gosh darn special. Got to sit real tight, got to calm down and relax, let itself go. Sweat like you heard or act like you know. That's old school. KRS. You a rap fan, Emma Carpenter?
Not particularly, but
Oops.
I mainly like everything.
Except rap. Sounds like you're a rapsist.
-7 is a box. -7% is what it says.
Somebody who
That's
doesn't
not
like
true.
rap.
That's not true.
Hey, you just said you didn't like rap, so
I said
call
I'm
me a
not
liar and spit in my
particularly
face.
a fan. That's still a little bit different. Wouldn't
Yeah,
call
look
myself a fan, but I wouldn't say I dislike it.
look at that backswing position that old Ben has. He really tries to keep that face stable through him, setting his wrist angles early and just trying to hold on to those angles. Emma, you think you could get me a full ride scholarship to the University of Minnesota?
Well, it's not up to me. If I were a coach, I'd offer you a scholarship, Landon.
Take it, Emma Carpenter. I would love another degree. That would be dope.
Ooh, very good effort there in Tulsa. Now in Houston, here's Casey Russell. Ooh!
Up and down. Nice chip in Houston. See if Tulsa can't drop this birdie putt to match him. It does not fall. Gonna need a birdie. Or just hope that the Daly Round there in Houston, 7 putts. That would also work out for him. Any chance of a 7 putt, you think, Emma Carpenter?
Just for the beginning of it?
It has happened.
Yeah, I think that's good. Okay.
Oh, very nice putt. And Tulsa's tidy up for par. And Houston is going to be a birdie putt. You can see there on the upper left-hand part of the screen showing on the third means this is his third shot. You can see par 4 up there in the upper hand corner. So you can see that he is putting for a birdie. Houston is going to miss his par, or miss his birdie putt. He left with a short par putt. I think he'll probably do it, Emma. They might have this hole all but wrapped up. Nice par.
Tulsa in for par, and just a short par putt left in Houston. If they roll in one of these par putts, then they should be perfectly fine. Here is actually a birdie putt, from Ben Willman. If he rolls this in, this is just a nail in the coffin. They win by 2 shots on this hole, but we're playing match play, so they get 1 hole back, which would bring them back to just 1 down.
You know, it's hard to follow a match that just swings so wildly from hole to hole, where you'll go up 3 up and then you'll get it back to all square. But that's golf, isn't it, Emma? Oh,
It sure is. That tap and putt there will be a win, but first his teammate's gonna go ahead and get it cleaned up anyway. That's a par to win, Landon.
All right, boys.
gets it back to within 1.
Let's go. Man, you didn't line this one up.
My golf journey up to this point it's been long. I started when I was 12. Played as a junior at a reasonably good level. Turned pro when I was 21. Got my tour card when I was 26. Played in Europe for a few years.
We were asked to compete in the tournaments through a friend, and it sounded like a fun idea, so we thought we would do it.
So I had some friends that asked me to play on the team earlier in the year. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to commit, but they told me the schedule and thought it was a great opportunity to play some screen golf. They told us about the format and told us how it all worked with the seeding process.
And told me the first prize. And I was all in.
It's a different element, being inside versus competing outside, and it's been fun to do, and this is my first time actually doing it, so I've enjoyed it. The team format brings the team element, obviously, that we don't have when we are playing our normal competitive matches that are individual.
We got a good group of guys that play very, very well. I hope that they bring their A game in putting today.
The putting was the biggest challenge, so we worked more on putting than anything else.
To prepare for this tournament, if I'm honest, didn't really do anything different to what I normally do. That's probably not a good answer, but hopefully it still works out. To prepare for a normal tournament, I would probably spend about 2 weeks getting ready for the tournament, which would be a lot of kind of sim golf for the first week.
Obviously, my hopes are to win. I don't like losing. I wouldn't say I'm a sore loser, but I definitely like winning for sure.
Take a look at a hole number 10. It's a par 4, 439. That's pretty far. Drive down the left center to the crest of the fairway is going to set you up a shot to the green, or down in those dunes to the left. You can just see those cart paths and those dunes just about everywhere. You can see that score there. It's a wild match. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Tulsa. It's been kind of a little grudge match back and forth. This is the best player from Tulsa as of right now. Actually, the best player literally in this tournament. Saw his practice swings, and I thought he might be struggling today, but man, he is the best player out there at 1 under, and 1 under on the ocean course is bonkers.
Landon, I think if it had gone Tulsa, Oklahoma, that they would have won. They'd be 9 up right now.
Yeah,
Houston.
that's your opinion. Very few people know that Tulsa and Oklahoma are not the same place. One is a state, the other being just a city in the state. Emma, you got to work on those active listening skills. We still love you, though.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Houston getting it back to just one down. Have not seen many pushed or halved holes in this match today. Alan Little, see, interestingly, with this being a dogleg right, that's two straight players from Tulsa we've seen just aim straight over the hazard and draw it back into the fairway.
Just a traditional long bomber right there. But, you know, technically speaking, Houston has players that have really sound mechanical swings, but they're not winning. Explain that one to me. When you look at Team Tulsa, and you know they got loosey-goosey, sawed-off swings, and you know it's kind of wild that the untechnically sound swings of Tulsa is beating the mechanically sound swings of Houston.
At the end of the day, it's all about getting the golf ball in the hole. There were so many times I was playing golf where I felt like my swing was really solid, my swing was technically sound, and it did not always result in winning. Did not always result in beating players who maybe by my standards didn't have as technically sound of a golf swing, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, golf is all about getting the ball in the hole.
It's so funny. You watch that last swing of the Tulsa player, not to bully him about a swing, but it's just so loosey-goosey, kind of everywhere, overswing, kind of loops over the top. But man, does he get that club face square at impact.
Yeah, Landon, a lot of times it's all about repeatability, but it's all about feel. And if he knows what his golf swing is doing and he's really athletic, then he's going to be able to figure out how to square up that club face. I love watching Landon. You can see the moving swing plate separated into thirds, like you mentioned, the 64 different positions. We're talking thousands of different possible lies. That one that we saw in the fairway bunker in Tulsa, that was a lot of fun from Tony Moss because his feet were actually, the ball was below his feet, but it was still raised. So the plate he was standing on and the plate behind him was all in a downward lie, but the ball was up higher than that. I mean, it's so fun to see the way that the Golf Zone sims can really emulate the same lie you have on the golf course, because that happens. Golf gives you some absolutely outrageous lies where the ball might be in a way above your feet, but you're standing on a downslope.
Cuckoo bananas. This is the current lowest, or rather highest score on the board right now, 15 over par, but putting for his birdie in Tulsa. Houston can pull this out for eagle. Oh, short. That is going to be a hard chip from there. What do you think Tulsa's going to have to do to have a W here, Emma Carpenter? You think they just got to stay the course, or they got to start doing something fancy?
I think that draining this putt, it would be a really good start. Blake Randall putting for his birdie. It's got to turn in Berlin. Does not, but he should be able to clean that up for his par, no problem.
A nice birdie chip from Team Houston. Just skirts it to the hole. That should be an easy kick and par, only 4 feet away. Hard to miss a 4-footer.
Is for par from Alan Little, no problem.
That's a tricky little putt.
That was no gimme. That was no gimme.
It's not. Yeah, the left to right breaker for a right-handed putter is the hardest putt on the golf course.
Casey Russell now in Houston. He's looking to go back-to-back birdie chip-ins. Why not?
Oh, wow. Man. Just had 2 chips just put lipstick on a pig and ring around the rosy pockets full of bogey. Sadly, was not able to do it. Nice putt from Tulsa. That's 2 pars down for Tulsa. Finally, Landon Ashworth comes in and pays attention for once. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Oh, you don't have to say that about yourself, Landon. You absolutely pay attention. You know what? Something that's really cool about this Golf Zone Tour, and part of why they have us here today, having the opportunity to call this awesome action, is there's so much golf happening all at once. These players are in separate cities. They're playing 2 threesomes, and they're playing the hole at the same time. They're basically playing a six-some here, only they're hitting at the same time as others. So it's definitely neat to watch. It's interesting to follow, and it's a lot of fun.
Houston just lipped off that putt. Probably going to see a push here since basically all 3 of them are in makeable range, and they only need 2 of them to fall. Probably going to see a push. That's 1 of 2 that they needed, and this is a easy kick-in par. Looking at a live view of Team Tulsa's cheering section. Nice that they had the support of their patrons there. Back to the Daly Round in Houston. It's going to be easiest par putt and push that you will ever see from Captain Sensible Slacks. Carpenter, where do you think a person could pick up a pair of pants like that?
I don't know, Landon. Perhaps we should ask him.
Well, I wish I had his phone number, but a guy like that would never give his phone number to me. I don't have fancy enough pants to earn it. Well, why don't you tell us about this next hole?
Anything for you, Landon. This next hole, hole number 11, par 5, 562 yards. We got bunkers all up the right. This hole is a really accurate layup. It's in a way a little bit of a double dog leg, the way that it cuts to the right and then the green is cut back over to the left. So it'd be real aggressive to try to reach this hole in 2. It's better to just set yourself up for a nice, easy pitch approach. And we'll see how these players take it on.
What a great shot from Team Tulsa, the number 1 player currently out there. Already at 1 under par, the only player in red numbers. Everybody else is 2, 4, and 15 over, showing the difficulty of Kiawah Island. The last match was played at the old course at St. Andrews. Just about everybody was under par there, right, Emma Carpenter?
There were lots of low scores, definitely. Lots of low scores. We saw lots of under par scores. Orlando, all 3 under par, which is very, very impressive. And that's what's cool about this Golf Zone Tour, all these different sites that are legendary, that are iconic, and they pose different challenges. Some of them might be more scoreable, and some of them not so much.
Record of a 291-yard drive. Congratulations to him. Justin his view, figuring out what he wants his aim point to be. You can see on that little scorecard rendition, it will show you where you end up, where you need to be, where the wind's blowing. Cool golf simulators will show you just about everything. That needs to hang on in Tulsa, or he is going to be wet, and he is going to see what it's like being a merman, because he is in a puddle the size of the ocean. All right, Emma.
Puddle the size of the ocean. I like it.
Emma, how do you feel about plate tectonics?
Plate tectonics, I think it's about the coolest thing ever. I will never forget we're talking about the Golf Zone moving swing plate.
We weren't, but let's go ahead and talk about those because that's what we're here to do.
Plate tectonics. Are we talking about science?
Yeah, we were talking about geology there for a moment, but we can certainly talk about these moving floor plates.
We're talking about the
electronically.
we're talking about the movement of the Earth.
Yeah, I was talking about the movements of the plates of the Earth against the different tectonic plates, duction zones and uplift and things like that. But that would be an absolutely ridiculous thing to talk about with all this beautiful, handsome golf we've got going on. Who wants to learn when you can play golf?
Oh, well, being a broadcast journalism major in college, I haven't talked about plate tectonics since high school.
Oh, that's a shame. Back when you were singing your little heart out, playing
Oh,
Wicked.
that's absolutely right.
You can check out Emma Carpenter anytime you'd like. Emma Carpenter, what's your at?
Emma Carpenter, 3 M's on Instagram. But I have videos of me singing my little heart out in high school on YouTube as well, Landon.
That's too many M's, Emma.
You think it should have just 1 M?
I think you should have it any M's, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's an aggressive
all
amount of M's.
Do I need to click this button?
It's an upsetting letter. It's like 2 U's making love. All right, Emma.
All right, over in Tulsa, Blake Randall hitting his 3rd shot, only 46 yards, but off the fairway bunker. Let's see how he does. That ball's got to get up.
Did not do well, but he did not have much green to work with. And if you hit it past and you get it over that edge, it's going to trickle off the back of the green. That's what makes these suckers so hard. You know, you wonder what the difference between a tour pro and an average player is, and that's what makes Pete Dye courses so hard. Very nice birdie out of Tulsa. Wow, beautiful. That could be a big momentum shift right there. Yeah, look at him. Oh, jazzed up. I like it. Very nice.
Landon, do you think that this gets Tulsa back on track for the win now? They were up, they were losing it. How about this move?
And slapping his thighs. Oh, yeah, you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar, friend. Get out of there. Trying to ask for a little advice from Team Tulsa, but as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by all that stupid golf we had to call. What makes these Pete Dye courses, and especially Kiawah Island, so hard is, oh, don't you interrupt what I was saying. Every time I'm trying to tell a beautiful story, Tulsa just makes a Hail Mary rainmaker and drops birdie putts. It's going to take a miracle from the Lord Jesus in Houston to get them back on the board. We had a roaming bystander attempting to give out hugs. Who knows what's going on there? But it's going to take something deliciously special from Team Houston. Finish the fabulous thing that I was saying. It's these Pete Dye courses so GD hard. What makes tour pros being the only ones to play it is most important thing is where you land. You know, if you're loosey-goosey and missing left and right, your ball's going to roll off the green and you're going to have a comeback chip or putt that is never going to hold the green. And you got to be picking your landing zones on this course. So if you're just a little off playing Kiawah Island, from what I remember of playing it when I was much younger and not nearly as dedicated to the sports as I am now, you are dead.
Talk about threading the needle. He aimed for greatness and he accidentally hit it.
Emma, I'm just telling you straight up, who needs luck when you got that level of skill?
Landon, I would say it's all about how he handled this. He turned pressure into perfection.
Talk about the afterlife. That shot was so pure, it should come with a halo and a first-class ticket into the pearly gates.
Middle of the second? Third. Yeah, it's at the camera. Yeah, middle of the third. Camera, just in front of the camera.
Houston is putting for this birdie. He's got a chance to make this birdie. If he doesn't make it, his teammate is still up for birdie. That is a push.
Woo! What an unbelievable save, Landon. Oh my goodness. They knew that they had to make 2 birdies. It started with Casey Russell rolling in that 45-footer, and then Ben Willman follows it up by rolling in his birdie as well to push the hole. My goodness. Wow. That was clutch as can be. Hole number 12, par 4, 466 yards. That is no joke. This is the widest fairway on the golf course, which is good given how long this hole is, but it's one of the narrowest approaches. Look at that water all up the right. Do not lose this approach shot to the right whatsoever, or long left. You don't want to be stuck in that bunker either. So let's see now. These players are coming off of 4 birdies. Tulsa up, Blake Randall first, and Russell over in Houston.
And he finds a way to keep that club face square. Just a fairway finding machine. He's great at golf. He's really great at golf. 2 under. And he doesn't necessarily have the most technically beautiful swing, but it just goes to show you, if you put in the work and the time, he's going to make it. Are there any facts about him that you can rustle up, Emma Carpenter? First player out of Tulsa. I'm curious to know a little bit more about him. Not to put you on the spot or anything, but I want to get to know that man. Nice drive out of Team Tulsa as well.
You speaking of Alan Little?
Yeah, that very
Landon?
first person, the person who's 2 under right now.
Oh, you're thinking of Blake Randall, who we've seen make a number of birdies. Blake Randall, we spoke a little bit about him earlier. He's never played in a competitive tournament. He actually played soccer for 17 years, went to Birdie Bay one time, absolutely loved it. He's only been playing golf for a year and a half.
Shut up.
Yeah, that sounds like someone else I know too. My co-host.
Playing golf a year and a half, and he's winning the tournament against somebody who played in the Open. That's not a crazy sport for you, folks. Or if that doesn't make you want to give up the game, I don't know what will.
Honestly, all of the amount of hours and work that Ben Willman has put in, and then here he is facing off against a guy who's only been playing golf for a year and a half. I mean, if you're that good, I think it's safe to say that the bug has bit.
I mean, that's just demoralizing. That's like, some type of bull rider getting on a bull and going up to bull rider. I don't know where I'm going with that analogy. I'm just going to abandon it right there. I think we all got the point, though. Great analogy. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Always, Landon. I love your analogies. Oh, great shot out of Randall, who I said has only been playing golf for a year and a half. He puts it, within 7 feet of the cup. Oh, my goodness. He's on a heater.
What is his deal?
Nobody touch him. You get your fingers burned.
I want to get him on camera and ask him a few questions. I wish I could. Wish I was there in Tulsa. I would never wish to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I just want that to be known because I do have many warrants out for my arrest in Tulsa. So I will never go back. But if I were to be back there, I'd love to have a sensible conversation over a delicious baked potato and warm T-bone steak with that man. Wouldn't you, Emma Carpenter?
What if it was a different cut of steak? Would you still want to be there?
Nope. I told you my terms.
I see. Here's Tony Moss for his chip.
Hit the brakes.
Birdie chip, pretty good. You can still see his teammate's golf ball. There's that same lie we're talking about, ball almost above your feet, but you're standing on a downslope there from Ben Willman. He handles it pretty well.
Look at that slope. Just take the ball off the playing surface. And if you were actually there in Kiawah and you're in that third cut, it's, you know, you might as well just say goodbye to your golf ball. You're dead. These greens are punishing. Just where, depending on where they cut the holes, they can make this golf course fun or absolutely punishing. Third shot here on a par 4. Houston, let's see if he can't chip this in for Bird. He cannot.
This for par in Tulsa. This would be huge given that his teammate has a short birdie putt and he rolls that in. That's really big for Tulsa. Landon, we talked about how this is a really tight approach shot and the fact that short and on the right third of the green to the right of the hole just runs down to the right as well. It makes it even smaller, that landing zone. So it goes to show just how impressive that shot from Blake Randall was.
I hope he's not going to take too much out of this. Very nice. Yeah, birdie. Tulsa. I cannot imagine a scenario where Tulsa does not win this hole and go back to 2 up, right?
Yes, it was birdie par in Tulsa, par from Tony Moss, and the birdie from Blake Randall. So that means that this birdie putt from 30 feet out of Justin Engel is gonna need to drop. His teammates already did not make their respective birdies, so if this does not drop, it will be Tulsa hole.
The dub from Team Tulsa. Am I right, Emma?
That is another win for Tulsa.
Pretty dope.
I started playing golf when I was about 7 years old.
6 years old.
9 years old.
I started like a year and a half ago,
So our team for the GOLFZON Tour was selected through a play-in tournament, and it was just the top 5 guys that scored the lowest on that play-in tournament. 3 of the guys, which are the 3 starters, are not professional golfers. They were not college golfers. One has only been golfing for a couple years, but the majority of his rounds that he's put in have been on the simulators.
When I first came in here, I was shooting 80s, low 90s, and now I can shoot 6, 7, 8, 9 under if I really want to. So it's just about how much you put into it. I've been up here about every day for a few months now. As soon as I get off work, I head up here, play a couple rounds.
Oh man, I'm up here 4 to 5 days a week. I literally eat, breathe, sleep golf. It's my life. So it's a little less complicated for me in here when it comes to putting and chipping. Outdoors, I tend to have probably about a 2 to 3 handicap. In here, I'm easily about 10 to 12 shots better. So
These guys are way better in the simulators than I am. You know, I'll take them on any day outside. So I'm learning from them, and it's just a lot of fun to be around them.
We actually enjoy playing together. We root for each other. Even when we're playing a league against each other, we still root for each other. It's a good mix.
We play really well together. We talk about a lot of things, work through a lot of things, make sure that we're all on the same page before we go through with a shot, and it really helps.
All right, hole number 13, the par 4, 400 yards, a little bit on the shorter side. We got some water that runs up the right, all that sawgrass, bunkers on the left, water that runs all the way up, making for a tight tee shot and tight approach. Tulsa 2 up with 5 holes left to play, 6 holes left to play.
Wow, what a bomb from Team Houston. I have to check that guy for dynamite. Great pass. Probably about 40 yards past the drive of Team Tulsa, not that it matters. They're both in the fairway playing their own games. All right, Emma Carpenter, how tricky is it when you're playing competitive golf? Because as you know, I'm not much of a competitor myself, just very much an enjoyer of the game. Not a competitive bone in my body, but when you're playing competitions, did you find yourself getting intimidated by what other people were doing? You just completely tune them out and play your own game.
Oh boy, just barely by an inch Tony Moss's golf ball finds the hazard. But Landon, that's a very good question. I think that when you're competing, it's different when you're in match play and the goal is just to beat one person, or in this case, a group of people, because it makes sense to be a little bit more focused on what they're doing. However, when you're playing stroke play or in a tournament, and whatever it may be where you're playing for yourself, I think it can be really important not to get too caught up in what other players are doing. I've actually heard of some really good golfers who purposefully never watch their competitors hit.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I think pretty smart. Tiger Woods got famous for not watching his competitors putt unless he really trusted their reads. Did you ever hear that story?
I did, yes. Well, that's what I love so much about that is what not a lot of people understand about putting is that actually the roll that you put on the golf ball, hypothetically a golf ball can start perfectly on line. This ball headed right for the second time for Ben Willman. You can definitely assume that his score is not going to count on this hole. But Landon, what a lot of people don't understand about putting is that you can start a ball perfectly on line, but if it's not rolling perfectly end over end, it's not going to take the break in the proper way. That's why it's really important to know what kind of stroke you're putting on the golf ball, and to know that that ball is going to roll end over end on line.
One of the best putters in the game, that Tiger Woods. So,
yes.
Fun story for you. About a decade ago, my very first break in directing golf commercials was getting to direct a Nike shoe commercial. The director backed out at the last second, and the production company was friends of mine, and I had done a bunch of low-paying jobs for them, basically for free. And in exchange, they let me direct this Tiger Woods shoe commercial, where the first half of the commercial was shot in Los Angeles with the first director, where he had all of the extras and huge big production. Then the second part of it was flying out to Windermere to shoot Tiger's insert shots. And during one of the breaks in production, as we were setting up going to a different hole, Tiger grabs a club, and a couple of the producers, his bodyguard and I, all grabbed some golf clubs, decided to play a little close to the pin competition. And I didn't let Tiger know that I had been a golfer most of my life. Tiger's not much of a talker on set, and the last thing that I was ever going to do was bring up golf to him. Kind of kept the commercial light and airy, but we played closest to the pin, best of 5. I happened to beat Mr. Tiger Woods in closest to the pin. First time beating Tiger and first time playing him. It was pretty great. Got pictures of the occasion. It was a wonderful time. One of the best experiences of my life. And this guy's having a great experience of his life too. Tulsa, Oklahoma, raining down a giant par putt. That's a big save in momentum, and that'll just make you feel real good about themselves.
Landon, that story you just told me about you and Tiger Woods is one of my absolute favorite stories of all time. I mean, it's just, how many people can say that they beat Tiger Woods? It's just the coolest thing ever.
Well, it's certainly not a playing Tiger Woods at Kiawah Island on day 4 of a major. So when you're a weirdo little golfer like me, you'll take the wins as they come. But I realize my win was very much an asterisk win. Nice par in Tulsa.
That's par, par, par for all three players in Tulsa. Now it's going to be up to Houston. Casey Russell with the birdie chance from fairly long range, over 30 feet. This would be huge if they could drop this one.
I think he can do it. It's going to take a really, really good read with perfect speed because there's so much undulation now. Sometimes you can putt through a little bit of break, but when you have this long of a hole, that ball is going to have centripetal force being pulled down that hillside. So you're not entering the hole at the, 5, 6, or 7 o'clock position. You're entering the hole at the 9 o'clock position. It has got to fall in, and it is so hard for an amateur to judge those really breaking putts unless you grew up on a really nice country club.
Oh no, see now Justin Engel has just under 8 feet for birdie, but his teammate, with the real bummer of a 3-putt, now best they can do is push the hole, and he's still got work left here. 10 feet left. This hole is sitting right on a slope. Now this putt to save the 3-putt. The fans in Tulsa watching intently. 10 feet. If this one does not drop, it will be hole over.
God damn it.
Oh no.
Oh, there he goes, happy with the putter toss.
So Tulsa will win that hole yet again. Hole number 14, par 3, 194 yards. They got that long bunker up the left, a little more room to the right, but that is fall off short to the right. So we got another par 3 right around 200 yards, Landon. You think that these players have that club about dialed in now?
If I'm playing a real long golf course and it's just 200-yard par 3 after 200-yard par 3, I get really, I wouldn't say agitated, but I get disheartened just because I really like a golf course to have different challenges. And when your only challenge is how well do you hit your 4-iron,
Right.
I just get mental fatigue. And you wonder if Pete Dye designed this golf course to be hard and give players mental fatigue. Now, it's not too hard to hit a straight 4-iron, but hitting 5 straight 4-irons in a row on par 3s, it's taxing to the nerves, Emma Carpenter. How do you feel about that hot, juicy take?
Definitely, Landon. Of course, lots of course designers are always going to want to have as much variety as possible. Definitely a hot take to think that forcing players to hit the same club on every par 3 would be definitely an interesting play, but I agree with you. I know that for sure if I step up to every par 3 and I'm hitting the exact same club, it's just a little bit frustrating. Unless I'm absolutely hitting it on a string, then I love it.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Emma, can you tell me exactly where the match stands right now? Let the viewers at home know exactly what's got to happen for a W.
Absolutely, Lynn, and I am more than happy to do that. So Tulsa is 3 up right now. We're on hole number 14, which means that if Tulsa wins this hole, Houston is dormy. If they win this hole, that means that they will be 4 up with 4 to play. Houston's dormy.
And we have not seen a match end like that before, right, Emma? Can you remind me what the biggest disparity of score was between any two teams that we've announced so far in the previous 5 delicious, hotly contested matches?
We saw a 2-1 win just earlier on, but mainly lots of these matches have just come down to the wire.
That was a beautiful approach shot right there. And this guy, there's just not a real weak part of his game. He's lights out. That man in Tulsa.
Been playing golf for a year and a half. I can't even express how impressive that is. He's a natural 3 under par for his team today.
Yeah, 3 under par at Kiawah Island. I mean, what? Golf in a year? I gotta know more about this kid. I want to get to know him. I want to know what his journey was. I want to know how he figured it out so quick. It would be an important thing for the viewer at home, Oh, no, he doesn't. What a big moment in Tulsa. They are having a moment. Again, number 2 ranked team in this entire matchup against all 12 teams, and they are number 2 ranked. Had a bye the first round. Got to just skip past round 1 because they've been playing so well. Look at that. Best player on the team drops it in for par.
You know what this team has been doing so well today is they've been hem and egging it really well. The way that the match started, Tony Moss has actually made a couple birdies in his first few holes. How about that? Now par. Few up and downs on this lengthy par 3. But now you mentioned we've been talking so much about Blake Randall. He didn't get off to as hot of a start as his teammate Tony Moss. And now Tony Moss just kind of playing steady now while his teammate is really heating up.
Yeah, they're watching this very diligently, what happens here. He really needs this putt, but the good thing working for Team Tulsa is that his putt is a massively breaking putt, and it's a 20-footer. This is extremely difficult to judge this. He's going to have to enter this ball at about the 3 o'clock position and just have it wildly swing downhill. Great judge of speed, but just a little too right of the hole. And that's not even an easy par putt. And this also isn't an easy par putt. 10-footer, a little bit of break. It's an absolute must make. He's going to have to aim at the right corner of the cup. And he doesn't. Oh, in on the left side.
Now we got 2 par putts left. We just need one of these to drop, and it will be a push.
They need it bad. Can't imagine that a rock-solid player like him is going to miss a 7-footer uphill.
Nope, not a problem at all.
It's push, but it seems like the energy is pretty low in Houston right now, so we aren't going to go dormy, but Team Tulsa is still squarely in control. So we're on to hole number 15. That's going to be a par 4, 421 yards. Count them, 421. Seems pretty straightforward. We got sand over there on the left that juts out in the middle of the fairway. Kind of cool. It narrows that landing zone down coming in. Simulator golfers are going to have to keep that ball on the right side of the green because it slopes way back into you. Just pick out a really good landing zone for the drive. It's got a pretty wide fairway out there. You're going to need to hit it very, very far. If they can hit it far, it's got a wider landing zone, so it benefits long hitters. I just got to keep it out of the junk here. It's a first nearly non-perfect drive we've seen out of him in Tulsa. It doesn't find the center cut. Ladies and gentlemen, if Team Tulsa wins this hole, we can all go to bed. If you're watching this in the middle of the day at work, I encourage you not to fall asleep at your desk. Those boss needs the TPS reports.
You're absolutely right about that, Landon. If Tulsa wins this hole, they win the match 4-3, the biggest win that we have seen so far on the GOLFZON Tour. However, if Houston finds a way to claw their way back, that will be their second upset of this tour, first knocking off Monterey and then knocking off Tulsa. But Tulsa is certainly in the driver's seat.
250-yard scud burner out there. May not be long, but he is accurate, and that is extremely important. Team Houston is just going to need to claw back some holes. They need to maintain laser-like focus, just keep the ball in play. Fairways and greens, give themselves 3 birdie chances. Let Tulsa make the mistake. Drop kicks that one a little bit. Let's hopefully it gets a rollout. Not enough. Houston looking on diligently, just praying for mistakes out of Team Tulsa. You ever pray for the misfortune of others? Emma Carpenter.
Oh boy, it's funny you ask this, Landon, because of course I would never pray on the misfortune of somebody else. However, my teammates got in a funny discussion one time talking about match play in these particular situations, and one time a teammate of mine said, oh, you know, I never root for my opponent to miss. I always just want to make as many birdies and good pars as I can to just win the hole and earn it. And then my other teammate, who was actually a really good match play player, she was like, oh, every single time they're over a putt, I'm thinking miss, miss, miss.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think either answer is wrong.
No, I don't think so. It's just how you play the game. You play it like the Tiger Woods, where you want everyone else to fail and be the only champion there because second place is not winning? Or are you the type of player that has a little bit more resilience, kind of like a Scotty Scheffler, where you just hope everybody goes out there and have fun? You'd love to win, but winning's not everything.
Well, and I do think that there's a happy medium in there where you can absolutely love to win. You can want to win the right way. And even if you do, say you're in a playoff hole, like we've seen multiple playoffs in this GOLFZON Tour, say you're in a playoff hole, and if you do root for the misfortune of the other team, it doesn't mean that you don't have the utmost respect for them and want to win this match with integrity. We've seen a lot of integrity from these players who have been really showing us some solid golf and some fun team dynamics throughout this tour.
Your story, Emma Carpenter. 3 birdie attempts in Houston. They found the fairways and greens. Good for them. Got a birdie chance in Tulsa as well. Both of them are birdie attempts. They've got this in the bag. Think either of them are going to make it?
Houston is certainly in the driver's seat right now, with now the best that Tulsa can do is par. And Houston still with 2 more birdie putts, one from 7.5 feet, one from 6.9 feet. I mean, I think that Houston is likely going to take this, unless Tulsa shows us what they have been showing us, which is just exceptionally long par saves.
Not going to find one there, sadly. They're still in the driver's seat. They're still 3 up, right, Emma Carpenter?
That's right. They're definitely in the driver's seat on the match, but Houston having an advantage on this hole. We got a dead straight 7.5 footer for birdie.
Yeah, that is the hole, wouldn't you say, Emma?
I would say, unless Ben Willman 3 putts from this real short range, which would be extremely uncharacteristic, I think that Houston took this one. I nearly said Tulsa. I combined the 2 cities almost for a second there, Landon.
That'll happen.
And the nail in the coffin. Birdie for good measure. Houston wins the hole to get themselves back to 2 down. Now we got 2 down, 3 to play. Well, that was definitely a really clutch win. They still have got a lot of work left to do if they want a chance to win this match.
Probably the most fulfilling part of being an owner at Birdie Bay is just introducing all the customers to the simulators and really having them enjoy what it's like to play on one of these and providing them the option with almost as close to real golf as you can get.
Regulars love it. I mean, they'll come in here every week. I mean, it's almost repetitive. It's like, you know, they're going to be here at this time and then they're there, but they love it. Always speak highly of us and always come back, you know.
Yes, we definitely have regular customers, members who play quite often. They love the technology, love the convenience of the simulator and its location.
So having a spot where people, you know, maybe don't have the time or the weather's not capable enough for them to play, giving them that option, showing them how it works, and seeing them have a good time, that's probably the most fulfilling thing about having Birdie Bay. Technology impacting the golf industry, it kind of goes hand in hand.
After playing in different simulators, this was by far the best technology in the marketplace.
I just think that the technology is the best, and I don't think there's anything that comes close to it. And I think this is the best thing that you can do to, you know, get as close as you can to the real world.
I mean, you look at the moving swing plate, you look at the auto tee up, it makes it easy, quick, and fun. The regulars at Birdie Bay, I think they really enjoy the just relaxing, non-judgmental atmosphere that we have.
Everything's growing, and I think that everybody's going to start to come more indoors. I still think the love of the game is going to be there, regardless whether you're indoors or out.
Landon heading to hole number 16, this par 5, 579 yards. Definitely not a short one. Downwind, perhaps these teams can go for the green in 2, but let's take a look at the way the back 9, the tail end of the front 9 and then this back 9 has gone. Not a whole lot of holes, only 4 holes that were all square. The rest just back and forth between Tulsa and Houston. Tulsa right now 2 up on 16. So if they win this hole, that's a match 1, 3, and 2. A push, and Houston is dormy. Houston won the last to keep this match going now.
Houston starting off real strong. Tulsa in a little bit of trouble, found that left bunker, kind of more of a waste area in Kiawah Island. That sand's not real thick. It's almost like the sand at Albany Golf Course where the Hero World Challenge is played, from what I remember. Stop me if I'm wrong. I could be out of my gourd. It's been almost 20 years since I played the course. But that waste area, you can ground your club, from what I remember. It's a beautiful, beautiful, iconic hole here, number 17, 16, 17, and 18.
This golf course is strung along nearly 3 miles of the ocean coast. Just beautiful views, but lots of wind comes along with it. This off the tee, the wind is hurting, and off the left, which is definitely good given that there's water left, so there's some wind pushing against it. But Landon, Albany is a great golf course. I got to compete on Albany.
No way.
Oh, yes. I loved it.
Oh, dope. How'd you get to play that?
Oh, I played for a college event, and it was really special. I played some really good golf, which was a lot of fun, too.
Did you ever get to play Augusta playing women's golf?
Oh, no. They have the Augusta National Women's Am there now, but I never qualified for it, unfortunately. It's gosh, the fact that they have that event is just so special.
Heck yeah, it is. What's it take to qualify for that, Em?
Oh, you need to be one of the top ranked players in the world. You need to have won the USAM, or I mean, gosh, the qualifications are pretty tough. They don't just let anybody into that, that's for sure.
Yeah, they don't let just anybody play Augusta National these days, sadly. Strangely enough, they say the harder invite to get is Pine Valley. Been invited to play Pine Valley multiple times. I've had to turn it down every single time, and have never even gotten within a sparrow's whisper of Augusta National. Enough gobbledygook about our personal lives, Emma Carpenter. Let's talk about this match. $150,000 on the line. And as you all know right now, as Emma ran down at the beginning of this hole, all that Team Tulsa has to do is win this hole, and they won the match. But Team Houston is going to have to win every hole just to remain not dormy, and that is a very tidy shot. He has 12 feet left for his bird.
From 135 yards, he put himself in a really good position on the layup. Blake Randall as well steps up. Great position on the layup. Big swing here from Casey Russell, trying to get as close to the green as possible. Whew, he gets pretty darn close. Blake Randall also hits a nice shot up there as well. Remember, if Tulsa wins, it's game over. If there's a push, then a push on the next hole would equal game over. So Houston's going to have to do something real special here if they want their chance at $150,000.
Yeah, if Tulsa's going to end up winning this match, it'd be nice for them to just win it right now. Just put them out of their memory and misery. Get this hole over, get themselves to bed, be well rested for the matches coming up in the future to get them to Orlando, where Emma Carpenter and I will be there live at the PGA show. Oh my goodness, nearly saw a hole out there from Team Tulsa. That would have been big momentum shift. Emma Carpenter and I are going to be there announcing that live. Oh man, Emma, for goodness sakes, would you pull it together? We're going to be there live, and we are going to be on the newest NX Golf Zone simulators. Pretty exciting. This is a birdie putt for Team Tulsa, and he drops it. Holy farts! Ladies and gentlemen, he makes the putt and makes me need a clean pair of pants. Right, Emma Carpenter?
If you say so, Landon. Blake Randall just playing so solid today. 2 under par he will finish at if the match does indeed end here on hole number 16 for a 3-2 win. They're definitely off to a solid start. But the hole is not over for Houston. Now here is Tony Moss setting up for his birdie chance from 13.5 feet. If he rolls this in, we can certainly say that Houston is going to have to do something spectacular to keep this match going.
Yeah, let's hope that it goes up and in, and you hear the cheers, birdie. So that all but guarantees that Team Houston has to make 2 birdies, or they are going home, or rather staying home, empty-handed and not going to Orlando. Team Tulsa keeping that teammate confident that it does not matter. They've got their 2 birdies. The bogey does not matter. Oh boy. Team Houston's back against the wall.
I'll make it.
You just heard Team Houston say, I'll make it. How do you feel about that confidence? Emma Carpenter.
I love the confidence. That's exactly the kind of confidence that you got to have in a situation like this. Houston needs birdie to push. So now Casey Russell hitting his birdie putt right here. And we got a couple of birdie putts coming in. One that will be from 8.7 feet. One that's going to be from 21 feet. So if this doesn't drop, then both the 8-footer and the 21-footer are going to need to drop, which is looking like what is going to happen. So these are back-to-back must-makes. From 21 feet, Justin Engel, if he drops this birdie putt, as the players in Tulsa are fist pumping and watching intently, if he drops this birdie putt, that will give Houston a chance to remain in this match.
an absolute must make here, folks. Steps over his putt. I do not know why I'm talking quietly. He could not hear me. So I'll raise the volume just a little bit more to make you sitting on the edge of your seat. It lips out, and that is Team Tulsa going one step closer to $150,000. And the match in Orlando taking place live at the PGA show. Congratulations, Tulsa. They earned that bye and they earned that win. You look at them and you think, which ones are the golfers? It's those three sitting down in the seats in the blue polos that are just gotten shellacking a team of professional golfers that have played on tour and have played in majors. And this team from Tulsa, this ragtag group of golfers has just unseated 3 professional golfers. That's got to be demoralizing. Right, Emma Carpenter?
That was a really exciting match to watch, Landon, as Team Tulsa takes out the win 3-2, and they certainly earned it. They were playing really good golf top to bottom all the way through the match from the beginning to the end. You got to give it to Houston for a few of those really clutch wins on some of those holes on the back 9. But on this iconic track, some of the great golf that we saw, especially from Blake Randall in the second half of the match, is really what got the win done today.
Yeah, absolutely true. It was just impeccable golf from Team Tulsa. You know, that golfer that has that little sawed-off swing that I was just thinking, what in the world is he about to do? This is crazy. How did he get here? And then he goes out and he shoots 2 under par, beating people that have played in majors. I just want to know his life story. Can we see some replays, Emma Carpenter? Think we can talk everybody into giving us some of those?
Okay, let's take a look at some replays. Sometimes you just got to ask for it, Landon. You want it, you get it. And I love, this was the first eagle that we saw from Blake Randall. I mean, just so impressive. And then he follows it up later on with the chip-in birdie. Look at all those fist pumps he's tossing in, and his teammate just cool as a cucumber. Tony Moss. He rolled in his fair share of birdies as well.
Left hand low, just a jabby little Brian Snedeker punch putt, but man, was he rolling the rock today? Who cares how it gets done? There are no pictures on a scorecard, Emma Carpenter, and that is going to do it from us here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Landon Ashworth with the beautiful Emma Carpenter, wishing you a so long of farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye.